Hey guys, we are back, and I know we've talked a lot about David Imonitie, but there is one powerful person behind all his success, and it is the one and only his mother, actually sitting right next to me. And I want to hear all about David's story. I mean, you've been there for him throughout his whole life, and you've been one of his main supporters. So can you tell me, how did his dreams start?
Well, it's a pleasure to be here this morning, and I thank you for this opportunity. Um, what can one say about a phenom like David? I know David's initial dream was to go to the NBA. He wanted to play basketball, and he's a pretty good basketball player. But somewhere along the line, that dream was kind of jettisoned. And he was in college. He was studying criminal justice. And after 2 years, he decided to quit. And he wanted to go into business for himself. At that time, it didn't make any sense to me because I thought to start a business, you would have to have capital, which we didn't have. And David said something very interesting to me that has now unfolded. He said, "Mom, people are my capital. People are my capital." And I said, "What kind of business?" He said, "Multi-level marketing." And I said, "Show me one person that you know that has succeeded in multi-level marketing." He said, "Mom, you're looking at him."
Wow.
And that's how the journey started. First 3-4 years, there wasn't any monetary success, but he was learning. And you know, that's not visible, but he was learning from mentors, from books. I have always been a self-help buff. So I had Anthony Robbins, I had a lot of Christian pastors, literature, and back then tapes. And he would listen and listen, and he'd lock himself up in his room and listen and listen and listen. But I didn't see monetary success. And I kept saying to him, "Go get a job. Go get a job." He said, "No, Mom, I'm in business for myself, and that's what I want to do." Today,
I mean, look at him now, right?
Exactly.
He's done so much.
Exactly.
And it's all about that persistence, right? I mean, it's not easy, maybe, you know, being the mother and seeing all this work put in and taking so long to see those fruits of the success, right? But it came, and that's what matters.
It came. The thing with David is no matter how little or how much he has, he does something productive with it. He's always been like that, even as a child. It didn't matter how little I gave him. Shoes, clothes, he would combine them, he would wear them in such a way that he would look like $1 million already, you know. So he's just a very resourceful person, very caring person. I recall he'd be out playing with his friends, playing soccer or whatever. He'd run in just to say, "Ma, are you okay?" And once I said I'm okay, he'd run back out and play. As young as 6, 7, 8. So it's an honor and a privilege to be his mother. It's not something I take very lightly. And might I add, all the glory goes to God. But there was something distinctive I did. From the ages of 10 through 13, I made him read the book of Proverbs. He would read a chapter a day, and in a month we would finish it. Months that had 30 days would read the last 2 chapters. We started kicking, scratching, not wanting to, but he knew I wasn't going to relent. And he eventually just, you know. So I want to attribute his wisdom and his success to the Word of God and how much of it is in him. When you listen to him now, you can see that he has a solid foundation in his faith. And for that, I am grateful to God.
Right, and that's one of the things that he really talks about, especially yesterday. That was one of the main focuses about faith and about believing. I mean, that's his whole message throughout this whole event.
Yes.
And I think it's really thanks to you too, right? Not only God, but having that mother figure to push and to also just be there for him, you know, throughout the hardships and everything, because the path to success is not linear, right?
No, it's not.
There's a lot of ups and downs, and I'm sure that he went, you know, through his hardships too. Being in that position of looking at your son and seeing him grow, what is one of the things that you're most proud of?
I'm proud of David's heart. He's kind, he's generous, he's thoughtful, and he loves so easily. So if there's one thing I truly am grateful to God about, is the kind of man he's grown up to be.
Right, and I think it all comes back to, being a good person in essence. That
Yes.
also is a magnet of good things to come in your life, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And I know you mentioned a lot about what he's doing and everything, but there's one thing in particular I want to talk about, and it's the I Believe Foundation. Can you
Yes.
talk a little bit more about that?
Well, I Believe Foundation was founded by David in 2013, again because he wanted an outlet to be able to give. David is a giver. David has given families rent-free stay in properties that he owns. He's sponsored computer laptop drives for high schools. He's sponsored turkey drives, shoe drives. He does a lot of things. And later on in the program today, we're going to get to showcase some of the things he's done, not only here in the United States, but also in Africa.
So around the world, basically,
Oh, yes.
he's doing
Oh, yes.
stuff around the world.
And we intend to keep expanding and reaching communities that need what we have to give.
And it's also about educating the public that they can also give too. There's actually a website that you guys can visit too. So make sure that you're on the lookout for more information about the foundation, and you can see it actually on the screen. You can donate to www.ibelieveworldwide.org. Guys, this is an incredible way that you guys can give back as well. And I think when you give, you also receive. So thank you so much for your time. I am so appreciative to know a little bit more about David. And I think it all goes back to his essence, right?
Indeed.
And we want that to be transmitted not only to our viewers live, but also to the people that are in the room, and they're getting to experience him in a way that nobody else has. So thank you
very
so much. I appreciate it. Guys, there's a lot more coming, so stay tuned and you'll see me soon.